Hi, it's Sue here from Inspired Messages Monday, welcoming you to the next month. We're not quite there, it will be May, so this is the time for me to do another newsletter for you. And we've had some lovely weather, and so I'm sure you've been out and about enjoying Easter like most of us, being involved with the family. But gosh, we've had some things really going off in the world, haven't we? You know, the world just seems to be speeding up. And we've had, bombs going off in Sri Lanka, which was absolutely terrible. And we've got climate change is really huge. It's on everybody's lips. It's on, the TV. There are people doing marches, which is great. And obviously when I did my reading this week, interestingly enough, the world card came up. So this is why I just want to show you the world card. And if you see, it's like an egg. If on lots of the tarot cards, you do see it more as the shape of an egg, but you can actually see the shape. And that's what we are. We are the world. We are in that world, all of us. And so it was interestingly that I picked that card up, and the other messages were about really that we've got to all do our bit. And I know I've said it before, but I can only say what comes up, and maybe we don't take it when we first hear it and think that we can't do anything because it's only one person. But actually, if everybody was doing something, then it would make a huge difference. So that's one of the messages, that the future of the planet really depends on it, and all of us helping in some way is important. And we have actually the power to make the change. That came up as well, that we do have is in our hands, and we need to speak out. We need to shine our light on the world, and we must move forward, because if we don't, we're going to go backwards. And also nature and the natural world is very, very important, and that came up as well. So that being said, I'm going to tell you the transits for the next 2 weeks, and we will be having a new moon and a full moon during that time. So starting off on the 29th, we have Saturn opposite the North Node. Now the North Node is where we should be traveling in this lifetime. The South Node in our chart is always where we've come from, and it's where we like to go back to because it's comfortable. So we have to stretch ourselves to go towards the North Node. So Saturn is about structure and doing things right and duty. So it's important to stay on track and to concentrate on the tasks at hand, and any old habits and patterns that are holding you back need to be changed, and that can be in any area of your life. And then on the 30th, Saturn actually goes backwards. We call it retrograde, and that can release you from duties for a while. But you must remember, you still have them to do another time. So if you can move forward with what you need to put into place, don't procrastinate. On Wednesday, the 1st of May, we're going to have Mercury, the planet of communication, making a square to Saturn. So you could have a mental block, because Mercury is to do with the mind and how you speak. You could have doubts about what you're good at intellectually, or whether you can do the job. But I'm here to say that you can, because I believe we can do anything. But helping you on that day, we have Mercury sextiling Mars. Well, that can give you a sharp analytical mind. So maybe the one balances the other one out. And then on Thursday the 2nd, we're going to have Mercury again making a square to Pluto. So you need to beware, because that can bring manipulation. Either you suffer manipulation from another person, or you manipulate yourself and you don't realize you're doing it. So if you are being manipulated yourself, step away. be aware and, you know, realize that it's only for the day, although you might be in a situation where you continually become manipulated. So you need to maybe understand that maybe it might be a lesson. You need to be aware of being too fixed and obsessive in your thinking and ideas. You know, as you know, you could upset those people around you because you've got, you know, you won't bend. So compromise, I think, is what I want to say for that on the 2nd. And on Friday the 3rd, Mercury again is going to square Jupiter. So that's a good day for learning and any new subject that brings philosophical subjects connected to the meaning of life. Because that's what Jupiter is. Jupiter's about finding the truth, searching for the truth, learning. It's about our beliefs as well. And obviously Mercury is about the mind, so it's all about learning something. And it might just be that you learn something on that day, that you don't put yourself on a course, but it would be good to put yourself on a course as well. Also on the 4th, we will have the new moon, and that will be in the sign of Taurus. And so this is a good time, always a new moon, for a fresh start. Maybe good to do plans for the next 28 days. Maybe it's good to write them down, sit in the moonlight, do some meditation, and do a new moon ritual. If you want to know exactly how to do it, then send me a message and I will send you a PDF of that. But this is going to be good because it's actually making a sextile to Neptune. So it's good for creative, intuitive or psychic or occult subjects. Meditation actually, and any kind of group activities. Now that is Saturday, so you might well find yourself on a course. A yoga course would be good because Taurus is about movement, you know, it's about being connected to the earth, so that would be very good with yoga, doing the positions and learning about the philosophy and that kind of thing. But anything to do with creative, anything to do with creativity would be good as well on that day. And then on Sunday the 5th of May, Mars is going to be opposite Jupiter. Now that gives us strength and courage and increases self-confidence, but it also increases our desire to win at all costs, because Mars was the god of war, and obviously an opposition is like a bit like a tightrope, you know, which one's going to win. So there is kind of a warning because you could overspend, overdo something, overextend yourself. So be careful of extravagance and gambling and risk taking, because you might well regret it afterwards. Monday the 6th, then we have Mercury moving into the sign of Taurus, and that will be there until the 21st of May. So not very long, but during that time, you're likely to talk about security, money, job, finances. In fact, anything that makes you feel safe and secure during that time might come up to be talked about. So pensions and how you're going to look after yourself financially. And then on the 7th, we're going to have Venus squaring Saturn. Now, Venus obviously is about relationships. Saturn can hold us back. So a square, because that's a challenge, could make you feel a bit down, a bit lonely, a bit unloved. Even if you're in a relationship, you may feel quite distant from your partner, and you may want proof of the love that you have in your relationship on that day. But remembering that Venus does move quite quickly, so it's only for that day. And on Wednesday the 8th of May, Mercury again is going to be next to Neptune, and we call that a conjunction. So your creative imagination will be good, writing, poetry, music, anything to do with fantasy, maybe you'll be writing fantasy, or maybe you'll be going to a cinema, or watching a band, or listening to some poetry, all of those things. And on that day, thoughts come out of nowhere that, you know, feel inspired. So, you know, that can be quite nice. And then following on, we're on the 9th, we have the Sun sextiling Neptune. So this is great for creative visualization and using the law of attraction. And it brings an interest in mysticism and dreams. And it can have, you know, a great meaning, dreams can. So make sure that you write them down, especially when we've got the Sun making an aspect to Neptune. Using creative visualization, making sure that, you know, the picture of what you want your life to look like is in your mind, and using the law of attraction in a way, you know, that you can make your dreams come true. And that sounds a bit fanciful, but, you know, I do it on my courses and people do have amazing results, and it is just about doing it and, you know, trying it out, and it's free. So I would suggest you may like to have a go at that. And you can download my book, Achieving Your Life Purpose Using the Law of Attraction, if you want to know more about it, or just message me and I will send it to you. Okay, and then on Saturday the 11th, we're going to have the Sun trining Saturn. That gives structure to your plans and long-standing growth. Which can be in contrast to, you know, half-baked ideas and actions that you know, when you've not got Saturn there. So use that Saturn on that Saturday to get the jobs done that you want to, you know, you want to get done. And then on Sunday the 12th of May, we're going to have a waxing half moon. So what was started on the new moon on the 4th of May, what your list was for the month, you know, what you wrote down that you know you wanted to put into action, and you've actually created in your mind with your creative visualization and the law of attraction. Now you can put more effort into it, you can work on it, and, you know, make sure that the plans for the month are moving forward and you feel that you're on track. Okay, so the affirmation for the next month, and it goes really with the messages that we had earlier on, is hand on heart, you know, making sure that you say, I make a positive difference to the world I live in. I make a positive difference to the world that I live in. Okay, so that's your affirmation. And remember, you know, if you're a Taurian, then you get a chart done for £85 instead of £95. I do spend a lot of time doing it, a few hours, and then you do have an hour to an hour and a half with me, where I go through you know, the chart with you, and you can have a birth chart reading, which is about what, you know, what you should be doing with your life, or you can look at what's in store for the next 12 months. There are other readings that I give, which are on my website, which is astrologysue.com, and don't forget my life purpose course and my astrology course. So I think that's about it. And have a fabulous month, and you know where I am. If you need me, please come and say hello. I love to speak to you. So bye for now. Bye bye.